Hey, welcome. It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it, but your child's brain grows faster in their first few years than at any other point in their entire life. I mean, we're talking about a rate of development that is just, well, it's astonishing. So let's dive into this.
Okay, get ready for this number. 1 million. That is how many new neural connections a young child's brain can form every single second. That's a number that's pretty hard to wrap your head around, right? But it's happening, and it's laying the foundation for absolutely everything to come. All their future learning, their behavior, even their health.
So, when you hear a number like that, it's totally normal to feel a little bit of pressure. You might start thinking you need all these fancy, expensive toys or some kind of special program just to keep up with that incredible brain growth.
But here's the thing, and it's actually the best news. The most powerful brain-building tools you'll ever find, they're not sitting on a store shelf. They're the simple, everyday moments you share with your child. It's your time, your attention, and your connection.
So in this explainer, we're going to walk through 4 key areas that cover 5 super simple habits. We'll kick things off by understanding the amazing early brain. Then we'll look at habits for communication, then resilience and routine, and we'll finish up with building that everyday confidence.
All right, first up, the amazing early brain. Let's just take a quick peek at why these first few years are so incredibly important for laying the groundwork for, well, a whole lifetime of learning.
You see, brain development is really all about creating and strengthening these connections between brain cells. Think of it like you're building a massive city full of roads and bridges. And what shapes how that city gets built? It's your everyday interactions and your child's experiences. You're the chief architect here.
Okay, let's move on to our first set of habits and see how this all starts to build. This section is all about connecting through communication, which really is the bedrock for language and that all-important emotional bond.
Habit number 1, talk and respond. What I love about this is just how simple it is. Your baby makes a sound, you make one back. They point at something, you name what they're looking at. This little back and forth, it's like a game of conversational tennis, and every single serve and return is building those vital brain pathways for language and social skills.
And habit number 2 is just as powerful. Read every single day. Seriously, even just one picture book a day can make a huge difference. It just opens up a whole world of new words. It expands their vocabulary, and it's a huge boost for their imagination and their attention span. But, it's so much more than just the ABCs. This really gets to the emotional core of learning. Reading together isn't just about the words on the page, it's about that closeness, that feeling of security. It creates this powerful, positive emotional bond. At its heart, it's a connection tool.
Next up, let's talk about how we can build resilience and routine. These next couple of habits are all about creating a sense of security and starting to foster those essential problem-solving skills.
Okay, habit number 3, maintain a sleep routine. Sleep isn't downtime for the brain, not at all. It's actually prime time. While your child is sleeping, their brain is working hard, strengthening memories, and processing everything they learned and experienced that day. It's literally when the day's learning gets locked in for good.
And look, making this happen doesn't have to be this big, complicated thing. It can be so simple. A warm bath, some cozy pajamas, a bedtime story. And hey, see that? That ties right back to habit number 2. And then a goodnight kiss. That predictability helps kids feel safe and secure, which helps them sleep better. And that directly supports all that healthy brain development.
All right, habit number 4. Now, this one can sometimes be one of the hardest for us as parents, but it is so vital. Let them try. When your child is facing a small challenge, like trying to get a block in the right spot, just give them a moment. Let them try to figure it out on their own.
So why does this work so well? Because those little struggles, they're basically brain-building exercises. They help develop problem-solving skills, they build patience, and they foster this deep sense of real confidence. Every time they try and maybe fail, and then try again, they are physically strengthening brain connections through their own direct experience. And that brings us to our final section, fostering everyday confidence. This last habit is all about empowering your child with a sense of capability, and you do it through really simple daily activities.
And our 5th and final habit is let them help. You know how little kids just love to be helpers? Well, lean into that. Giving them simple tasks like handing you clothes for the laundry, helping water a plant, or putting their toys away. It does so much more than just get a chore done. As you can see here, it's developing their motor skills, it's teaching them about responsibility, and it builds this real, earned confidence.
So let's do a super quick recap. The 5 simple but incredibly powerful habits are talk and respond, read every day, keep up a consistent sleep routine, Let them try to solve little problems, and let them help with simple tasks.
Look, if there's just one thing you take away from all this, please let it be this. You don't need anything fancy. The most profound, the most effective, the most powerful tools for building your child's brain are already yours. It's your time, your attention, and your interaction.
So that really just leaves one last thought. It doesn't have to be some grand gesture. It can be a book, a quick chat, or just letting them help with one tiny thing. Which simple, brain-building moment are you going to share today?